What is up, you guys? Good morning. It's 7:40 a.m. here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I wanted to talk a little bit about songwriting and how it kind of pertains to your life. I recently have started writing music. I want to write country music. I want to put songs out. I want to just be in that whole field, and it's just a passion that I've always had in my heart, and I'm finally creating standards and habits to make my physical being follow that feeling I have in my heart. So I was listening to a podcast, about, the best practices for writing music and how to become a good songwriter from some of the great people in country music and great songwriters that have number ones and have this great legacy. And, I was thinking, like, how can I pertain this to just everyday life? Something that I'm going through and something that I feel in my heart, which is writing music. It's like writing your story. It's like writing a story. It's like your life. It's like there's an introduction and there's a body and there's a conclusion. Like, how do you want your intro? How do you want your song to start out? What do you want to lead into as far as the body? And then what do you want to lead people with? And it's kind of like life, guys. It's like your introduction is when you're born. It's your teenage years. It's your early 20s. And you're figuring out life, and you're figuring out what you want to do and how you want to create that high quality of life during the body transition and the meat of your life, which is like your early 20s to your early 40s, early 50s. And then you got that whole body of, like, you're taking everything you have in that introduction, all the things you've learned, all the things you feel, your morals, your values you've instilled in yourself, and the experiences that you have, and you're taking that and you're using it to create this body of life and this transition into the next part, the meat of your life. And use that introduction, use those things you've learned to mold that part and to create, the sense of joy and clarity and focus that you have during those times in that season where you're using everything you learned in the introduction to become a better person, to become a more driven person, to become a better human being, and maybe right now you're watching this and you didn't have the best introduction. You had a poor upbringing. You lived in poverty. You grew up without money. You grew up without a place to lay your head. You grew up without certainty in your life as a young person. I did, guys. And it doesn't have to be your story. It doesn't have to be what your conclusion ends. It doesn't have to be your identity at the end. You got to use that introduction to create the best body of life and find joy in that and find positivity in that. And then you have your body and you're telling your story and you're telling, how you lived your life, and you're telling how you lived the experience. And then now you're leading into the conclusion of your life. You're leading into the conclusion of your song, and you're taking all those things and you're building this conclusion and building it up to leave it behind and leave people that listen to your music and listen to your story and leave them with positivity and ask them a question. And, like, what are you doing now if you want to create a new introduction to create the best body of life and to leave behind? What are you going to leave behind? What is your conclusion? What are you going to leave with your kids? What are you going to leave with your legacy? What are the future generations of your family how are they going to think of you? Like, this is the body, and then what is your conclusion? So it's just like writing a song. You have an introduction to the song. You have an introduction to life. You have a body of the song. You have the body of life. Then you have the conclusion of the song. You have the conclusion of your life. Ask yourself this, guys. Are you living? Are you loving? And do you matter? Ask yourself that question every morning when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Did I live? Did I love? And did I matter today? Find your sense of being. Find your sense of purpose. Write your story. Write your song, guys, and let the world know it. Because I promise you, somebody can learn from it. Somebody can use it to propel them and to create momentum for their life. I promise you. I love you guys, and I hope that kind of helps. And yeah, this is kind of how I thought this morning, and I love you guys. And make sure you go follow me on Instagram and Twitter to see what I write. I'm working on something now, guys, and I want to get around people that inspire me. And if you guys can contribute to that, please go follow me at Vito Swain on Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to be tweeting some stuff, and you guys can talk to me and give me your advice. So I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.